Hey there, history buff and curious minds. Ever wonder who shaped our world the most? Today, we are diving into the lives of the top 100 leaders in the history. These are not just names in the textbooks. They are the movers and the shakers who changed everything. So, ready to meet the people who made our world the most it is today or what is today? So, let's jump right in. First up, we have Julius Caesar. This Roman general and the statesman laid the groundwork for mighty Roman Empire. His military conquest expanded Rome territory and the influence. But it wasn't just about battles. Caesar was also a political reformer. He introduced the Julian calendar, which is the basic for our modern calendar. Next on our list is Alexander the Great. At just 20-year old, he became the king of Macedonia. By 30, he had created one of the largest empires in ancient history. His conquest spread Greek culture across the vast area, influencing art, language, and philosophy for centuries. Let's fast forward to Genghis Khan. This Mongolian leader united nomadic tribes and created the largest contiguous land empire in history. His military strategies are still studied today. But did you know that he also established a Silk Road trade routes? This connected East and the West, leading to culture and the technological exchange. Now let's talk about Queen Elizabeth I of England. She ruled during a time known as the Golden Age. Under her regime, England became a major European power. She supported the art, leading to the flourishing of the literature and the drama. Ever heard of Shakespeare? He wrote during Elizabeth's regime. Moving to the Renaissance, we have Leonardo da Vinci. While not a political leader, his influence on the art and the science was immense. He painted the Mona Lisa and the Last Supper. But he was also an inventor, creating designs for flying machines and the tanks centuries before they became a reality. Let's cross the ocean to Moctezuma II. He was the ruler of Aztec Empire. When the Spanish arrived, his regime saw the Aztec Empire at its largest. Moctezuma expanded the empire and built grand structure in the Tenochtitlan, the Aztec capital. Back in Europe, we have Napoleon Bonaparte. This French military leader became the Emperor of France. He conquered much of the Europe in early 19th century. Napoleon also introduced many reforms, including the Napoleon Code. This legal code influenced law in many countries around the world. Crossing to Asia, we find Emperor Wu Zetian. She was the only woman in Chinese history to rule as an emperor in her own rights. During her regime, China expanded its territory and influence. Wu Zetian also promoted Buddhism and supported the art and the literature. Let's jump to the 20th century with Mahatma Gandhi. This Indian leader used non-violent civil disobedient to fight for India's independence from British rule. His philosophy of non-violence inspired civil rights movement around the world. Gandhi's method showed that change could be achieved without violence. Well, no list would be complete without mentioning Nelson Mandela. This South African leader fought against apartheid and spent 27 years in the prison for his beliefs. After his release, he became South Africa's first black president. Mandela's work to promote reconciliation between black and the white South Africans. Let's talk about Catherine the Great of Russia. She expanded Russia's border and modernized the country. Catherine was a patron of the art and corresponded the Enlightenment thinkers. Her regime is often called the Golden Age of the Russian Empire. Moving to the Americas, we have Simon Bolivar, known as the Liberator. Bolivar led independence movement in the several South American countries. He dreamed of united Latin America and fought tirelessly for this vision. Bolivar's legacy can still be seen in the names of the countries and the cities around the South America. Let's discuss Queen Victoria of the United Kingdom. Her regime, known as the Victorian era, saw great changes in the British society and the culture. The British Empire reached its peak during her time on the throne. Victoria oversaw advancement in the industry, science, and the politics. Now, let's talk about the Abraham Lincoln. This American president led the country through its Civil War. Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation declared slaves in the rebel state to be free. He is remembered for his leadership during a crucial time in American history. Crossing back to Asia, we have Akbar the Great. This Mughal emperor ruled over much of the Indian subcontinent. Akbar was known for his religious tolerance and his patronage of the art. He created a new religion, Din al-Lahi, which combined elements of various faiths. Let's discuss Martin Luther King Jr. This American civil rights leader fought for racial equality using non-violent methods. His I Have a Dream speech is one of the most famous in the history. King's work led to significant changes in the American civil rights laws. Now, let's talk about Cleopatra. This last active ruler of the Ptolemaic kingdom of Egypt, allied with Julius Caesar and the later Mark Antony. Cleopatra was a skilled diplomat and the only Ptolemaic ruler to learn the Egyptian language. Her regime saw Egypt become a client state of Rome. Moving to China, we have Mao Zedong. He led the Communist Party of the China to victory in the Chinese Civil War. Mao proclaimed the founding of the People's Republic of China in 1949. His policies had a profound impact on Chinese society and the culture. Let's discuss the Winston Churchill. This British Prime Minister led the UK through World War II. Churchill's speeches inspired the British people during dark time. He was also a prolific writer, winning the Nobel Prize in Literature. Now, let's talk about Joan of Arc. This French peasant girl led French troops to several important victories during the Hundred Years' War. John claimed to have a vision for God telling her to support Charles VII and liberate France from English rule. She was later captured and executed but became a national hero of the France. Let's move to the Ottoman Empire with Suleiman the Magnificent. Under his rule, the Ottoman Empire reached its golden age. Suleiman was a skilled military commander and a patron of the art. He oversaw the creation of new legal code and the construction of many beautiful buildings. Now let's discuss Eleanor Roosevelt. While not a head of the state, he redefined the role of First Lady of the United States. Eleanor was a diplomat and activist for civil rights and women's rights. She played a key role in the creation of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Let's talk about the Augustus Caesar. He was the first emperor of Rome, ending the Roman Republic. Augustus fought peace and the stability after years of a civil war. His regime began the Pax Romana, a long period of the relative peace in the Roman Empire. Moving to Africa, we have Shaka Zulu. Shaka Revolution military tactics, creating the famous bull horn formation. His reforms had a lasting impact on Southern African society. Let's discuss Elizabeth Cady Stanton. This American saffron fought for women's rights to vote in the United States. Stanton organized the first women's rights convention in the Seneca Falls in the New York. Her work laid the foundation for the eventual passage of the 19th Amendment. Now let's talk about the Saladin. This Muslim leader united Egypt and the Syria and led the Muslim opposition to the European Crusaders. Saladin recaptured Jerusalem from the Crusaders in 1187. He was known for his military skills and his chivalry even amongst his enemies. Let's move to Japan with the Tokugawa. He founded the Tokugawa, which is ruled Japan for over 250 years. His policies brought stability to Japan after a long period of the civil war. He also encouraged foreign trade and the culture exchanges. Now let's discuss Frederick Douglass. Born into slavery, Douglass became a leader in the abolitionist movement. He was a powerful orator and wrote several autobiographies. Douglass advised President Abraham Lincoln during the Civil War. Let's talk about the Catherine. She was a queen of France by marriage to the King Henry II. After her husband's death, Catherine played a key role in the reign of her son. She known for her political skills during the time of religious and the civil upheaval in the France. Moving to South America, we have Eva, known lovely as Evita. She was the first lady of Argentina. Eva fought for women's saffron and the labor rights. She became a pop icon, inspiring books, movies, and the famous musicals. Let's discuss Cyrus the Great. He founded the First Persian Empire, also known as the Achaemenid Empire. Cyrus was known for his tolerance of local customs and the religion in the land he conquered. He is even mentioned in the Bible for allowing the Jews to return to Jerusalem. Now let's talk about Queen Jinga. She was a 17th century queen of Donga and Matamba Kingdom. In present day, it is Angola. Jinga fought against Portuguese colony and the slave trades also. She remembered as a skilled diplomat and the military leader. Let's move to Russia with Peter the Great. He modernized Russia, turning into a major European power. Peter founded a city of St. Petersburg as Russia's window to Europe. He reformed the Russian government, military, and the Orthodox Church. Now let's discuss Harriet Tubman. Born into slavery, Tubman escaped and then helped other slaves to freedom via an underground railroad. She later served as a spy and the scout for the United Army during the Civil War. Tubman dedicated her life to fighting for freedom and the equality. Let's talk about the Hammurabi. This Babylonian king is best known for his legal code, one of the earliest known set of laws. The code of Hammurabi covered various aspects of the daily life, from marriage to theft. It's famous for its principle of an eye for an eye. Moving to China, we have Confucius. While not a political leader, his philosophy had a profound impact on Chinese culture and the governance. Confucius emphasized personal and the governmental morality, the correctness of the social relationship, and justice. His techniques are still studied and followed by millions today. Let's discuss the Marcus Aurelius. This Roman emperor was also a Stoic philosopher. His book Meditation is still read today for its insight on leadership and the life. Marcus Aurelius ruled during a time of war and the plague, showing strength in the adversity. Now let's talk about Theodora. She was the empress of Byzantine Empire and the wife of Emperor Justinian I. Theodora was a strong ruler in her own rights, influencing policy and the law. She is known for her support of women's rights and her role in the quelling the Nika roots. Let's move to the Americas with the Sitting Bull. This Hunkpapa Lakota chief led his people during years of the resistance to United States government policies. Sitting Bull was a spiritual leader as well as a military one. He is remembered for his role in the victory at the Battle of Little Bighorn. Now let's discuss Golda Meir. She was one of the founders of State of Israel and served as its fourth prime minister. So friends, what a journey through history. We have met some extraordinary leaders who shaped our world, from ancient empire to modern revolution. Each left their mark. Well, which leaders inspire you the most? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more historical content. Until next time, keep exploring the past, to understand the present.